Even 10 minutes of reading from a teleprompter on a Saturday afternoon was too much for the supposed President of the United States. I suppose his handlers figured that it was important to mark Senate passage of the nearly $2 trillion pork-packed blue state bailout bill with some sort of stumbling presidential remarks. It may, after all, turn out to be the highlight of this dipshit's presidency, considering Senate passage of the rest of the Biden agenda looks iffy, now that Senators Manchin and Sinema have stated their opposition to ending the filibuster. But how much longer will the American people accept the spectacle of their commander-in-chief visibly incapable of coherence? It's painful to watch, even 35 seconds of it. It's a national disgrace. We'll take a quick commercial break and then watch yet another short sampling of our irregularly acquired new leader. After that winter wake-up call and the breakdown of the power grid, nobody can deny we're all quite vulnerable. We saw power grid failures, and severe weather made the food supply chain come to a grinding halt in many parts of the country. And whenever that happens, people suffer. That's why it's smart and fairly easy these days to prepare in advance for those disasters by stocking up on long-term storage emergency food. Food that stays fresh for up to 25 years, so you never go hungry. I strongly recommend My Patriot Supply, America's leader in self-reliance. They're the only source I use for emergency food planning. And now you can save $50 off a 4-week supply of delicious meals that give you 2,000 plus calories a day. That's what you'll need to survive the next disaster, and saving $50 is impossible to pass up, but supplies are limited, so go to preparewithresurgence.com and stock up now. That's preparedwithresurgence.com. Or hit that link in the description box and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with being prepared today.
The vast majority of economists, left, right, and center, from Wall Street to the private economic polling initiatives, the economists, as I said, left, right, and center, say, in addition to the needs the people have, we need this to grow the economy. That if we haven't spent this money and recreated the kind of incentive for people to be able to make a good living, that we'd be in real trouble.
On a good note, last week, the pet project of the anti-American left and the Great Reset corporations hit an unexpected roadblock. Nancy Pelosi's leadership team in the House had included a provision increasing the national minimum wage to $15 per hour. There was a lot of celebrity firepower pushing this proposal. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's economically retarded, job-killing brain jumped into action. Of course, the oh-so-out-of-touch gazillionaire Jeff Bezos' Amazon weighed in favor of it, as did his propaganda-spewing paper he owns. The $15 per hour federal minimum wage is one of those ideas that looks great on paper when you're at a 6th grader level of economics, but when it is put into effect, the results are universally grim. The left-leaning, never-seen-a-budget-I-didn't-like Congressional Budget Office estimated it would quickly cost 1.4 million jobs. To the Great Reset types, this is a feature, not a bug, as they are pushing for a guaranteed minimum income, of course. The roadblock was a little-known apparatchik in the United States Senate, Ellen McDonough, the Senate parliamentarian. She ruled that the plan to include the minimum wage hike in the Bat-Stew-Flu Porculus relief bill did not meet Senate rules and could not be included. Not to be deterred, the neo-commie faction, led by one Bernie Sanders, of course, pushed for a vote, the so-called nuclear option, to overturn the ruling of the parliamentarian by a simple majority vote. In what is a sign of hope for the future, that vote failed. This from Politico. The Senate on Friday is set to squash a bid to tack a $15 an hour minimum wage to President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus aid bill, with 8 Democrat caucus members joining all 50 Republicans in rejecting the change. The Senate parliamentarian had ruled that the wage increase could not be added to the bill and approved by a simple majority of the Senate, despite House passage of the provision last week. After Senate Democrats stripped it from the COVID package, a group of progressive senators led by Bernie Sanders forced to vote on the policy change anyway. That vote remained held open Friday afternoon at a tally of 42 to 58 while senators negotiated on other issues. But it already shows that even though the Democratic caucus overwhelmingly supports the effort of gradually raising the wage floor to $15, raising the wage faces significant hurdles within the party. Now, Kyrsten Sinema, who I've started to enjoy quite a bit lately, has really drawn the ire of the left by her vote. Not the vote per se, but the FU and the horse she rode in on delivery. So I guess our nation's economy is safe for one more day, but it is a small victory. You know, one would think that even the dimmest bulb would have to see that the immense amount of debt that we are taking on to deal with this contrived emergency is going to be an economic drag on our economy for generations. I guess if there is a bright spot in this mess, it is that 8 Democrats, including Schumer allies, crossed the lines to vote against Pelosi's Bolshevik faction. And of course, it's always a treat to see the likes of Kyrsten Sinema, a more traditional far-left liberal than a far-left Marxist, piss off the likes of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Some of this came by way of The American Thinker, and the rest from redstate.com. If you liked it, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment down below. There's a PayPal link in the description box, so please put $1 in the bucket on the way out the door. I'd like to thank everybody for all your donations. They're much needed and much appreciated. Now, with all that being said, we'll see you next time.
Come on, move. Move. Easy, easy.